Hey, this is Josh with Osmosis Pharmacy Test Prep. Today we're going to go over DEA numbers, and it's really important. Most places that have computer systems now have built-in in their computer system they have a technology that calculates the DEA number for you. But it's still important to know, especially for your tests, how to calculate the DEA number by hand, and it can be a little bit frustrating at first, but hopefully you'll get the hang of it. Just do enough practice problems, and it's not really complicated. It looks complicated at first, but if you practice enough, then you'll get the hang of it real quick. All right, what we'll do first is we'll go over how to calculate it first. I'll give you an example of one. So the first example we're going to do, all DEA numbers are going to start with two letters. The first letter is going to dictate what type of practitioner it is. Whether it's an A or a B, it's going to signify whether it's a MD or a medical doctor. And most of the time you'll see like an M for nurse practitioner or something like that. And then the second letter is going to dictate the first letter of the last name of the doctor. So Dr. Brown or Dr. Browning or something like that would be for B. Or if it was Dr. Smith, it would have been AS, But anyway, and then it's going to be followed by 7 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 3. And so the way this is calculated, and I know it doesn't look it's calculated, but it is. And so we'll go over that now. All right, so the way to calculate it, to make sure it's accurate, what we're doing is we're going to take the first number, the third number, and the fifth number. We're going to take them. We're going to say 1, 3, 5. We're going to add those together. So 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9. And we're going to take the second, the fourth, and the sixth number. 2 plus 4 plus 6. And we're going to add those together, and that's going to be 12. And we're going to times that by 2. So that's 24. So the second set is always going to be times 2. So the first set is going to be by itself, and then the second set is going to be times 2. So the odd times 1 and the even times 2. So that's how I remember it. The even numbers you're going to multiply by 2, and the odd you can multiply by 1, which you just leave it alone because it's 9. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add these two numbers together, and we're going to get 33. And then from there, the last number of that answer should match that number. And that's how you check the DEA for numbers to match. I know it sounds complicated, but the more you do these problems, the more it'll make sense. Just keep practice with it, and we'll do some more example problems. All right, let's pretend we have a prescription for some control. Now, whether they have a prescription for anything from C1 to C2, 3, 4, or 5, they have to have a DEA number to prescribe these type of medications by federal law. And this is so that the DEA can keep track of who's writing and who's filling and all that sorts of stuff. So let's say a nurse practitioner, Smith, is going to write a prescription. So NP Smith writes a prescription for, let's say, Xanax. oops, if I could spell, 0.25 milligrams. Number 30. And she puts that her DEA number is MD 347 834 6. Now, at first glance, do you think this is active, or do you think this is a correct DEA number for Nurse Practitioner Smith? Okay, we know she's a nurse practitioner, so we know it's not going to be an A or B, so that makes sense. It starts with an M. We know that her last name is Smith. His or her last name is Smith. We don't know if it's a he or she. But the letter is D. So that kind of throws a red flag. Now, some nurse practitioners are female, and people do get married, so their DEA number doesn't always necessarily change. So keep an open mind when you do see that sometimes. But on the test, if it tells you Nurse Practitioner Smith, and it gives you a DEA number like this, it's wrong. They will not try to trick you like that. I'm just giving you this to throw you some real life example problems. But if you see this on a test, it's wrong. So on the test, this would be a wrong DEA, just for future reference. But let's go ahead and say, for instance, she did get married and this was her maiden name. Her maiden name was Dixon or something like that. And so let's go ahead and calculate this DEA number to see if this 6 matches the rest of the numbers and see if this formula matches. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 3, 7, 3 together, right? Because that's the first, third, and fifth numbers. And so that's going to be 13. And we're going to add the 4, 8, and 4. And that's 16. But remember, we're going to times this by 2. Cut. And so that's 16 times 2 is 32. And then don't forget, we got to add these together. So 13 plus 32, 45. Five, 6. Doesn't match. So that DEA number is not right. It does not match the formula for the DEA number. So that answer is wrong. That's an invalid DEA number. All right, we'll say Dr. Brown writes a prescription for, let's say Dr. Brown writes a prescription for, we'll just stick with Xanax. It's a popular drug, number 30. And his DEA number, he writes on here, is, oops, 7382 954. Okay. So at first glance, he is a doctor. He's an MD. So we know that his DEA number should start with an A or a B, and it does. So that makes sense. His last name is Brown. So his DEA numbers, the second letter is a B. So that checks out. So let's go ahead and calculate his DEA number. 7 plus 8 plus 9. All right, it's 24, so 3 plus 2 plus 5, it should be 10. Remember, we're going to multiply that one by 2, it's 20, and 24 plus 20 is 20. It's 44. And the last digit, it matches. So it's 4. So this is an active or valid DEA number for Dr. Brown. So he's good. So we can fill this prescription for this patient. Again, thank you for choosing Osmosis Pharmacy Test Prep. If you have any questions, please ask us. If this still doesn't make any sense, just keep working the practice problems. And I promise it will eventually. Thank you. Bye-bye.